welcome to another episode of Girl Talkin' Shenanigans. I'm Marilyn.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today is going to be a little bit more of a difficult conversation for Cynthia and I to have with you guys. We wanted to use this episode to dive a little deeper in our personal lives and share some of the stuff that's going on. And this stuff is also what kind of inspired Cynthia and I to want to do a podcast together and help us make the most of every minute together.
Right.
And so I am just super inspired by my bestie right here, and she's just the most resilient person I know, and I'm going to let her jump in and start sharing her story.
Okay, well, so as Marilyn had said, we are trying to let everybody know what truly inspired us to do this podcast. We, as everybody does, has challenges in life, right? And we have had some pretty big ones, and we had decided that every single day mattered tremendously to us. So my story or my journey does start quite a ways back. So I am a two-time breast cancer survivor. So in 1993 was my first time, and then in 2001 was my second time. But I was a survivor from both of those. So that was great. Went through all the treatments and did all the losing the hair and all that stuff, which was devastating for me. And anyway, and then in 2018, I was again diagnosed with a totally different type of cancer. And this one is not one that I can beat. It is one that they can't get rid of. And so I basically, like they say, you're living with cancer. And they do try to lengthen your life and do different treatments. Unfortunately, I'm the type that kind of don't always listen to my doctor really good. And so I have already, it's already been 6.5 years since I was diagnosed. And they did say in the beginning they told me 1 to 2 years. So I do feel like I beat the odds already.
For sure.
So anyway, I have done rounds of chemo. I did lose all my hair again, which again is totally devastating for me. Not only being sick and going through that, but the hair loss is really big for me. And so this is my hair grown back from being bald.
And that was like 3 years ago.
About 3.5 years. Yeah, my hair grew back, and my hair girl tells me that my hair grows faster than anybody she's ever met in her life.
For sure.
And I'm very thankful that my hair does grow fast because it's back. And so I do have challenges that like I said, everybody does every day. It is living with cancer. I did try immunotherapies. And immunotherapies, unfortunately, don't work for me. One of the nurses did say, and she's the one that seemed to made the most sense to me, was for some reason when I do immunotherapy, it blows up my whole immune system, and I'm completely like allergic. I mean, my face blows up, my mouth, everything is just a mess. And the one nurse had said to me, she goes, I think you have a very high immune system because you really handle the chemotherapy and stuff really well. Like you're not as bad as so many people. And she goes, so I think when we are giving you immunotherapy, it's too much for your body. And that's about the only one that really made sense to me. We even tried last year. Actually, it's going to be a year this May. So it's been like 8 months ago. We did try 40% less of the immunotherapy. And actually, no, it was only 40% of it. So 60% less.
Yeah.
And I did 2 treatments. And again, it still blew my whole body up, and that it just doesn't work.
Not worth it.
Not worth it. Yeah, I was literally in the house for like the entire month of June and half of July.
Yeah.
I just had no energy at all.
I didn't even see you during that time.
No, she was like ready to join a girl group because she was getting bored.
I like didn't have my bestie to like do stuff with. I'm like, I need to
whatever.
I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody works during the day, and I'm like getting so bored, and I felt so bad because she was so sick and she had no energy. So
yeah,
when you finally reached out to me, like it was mid-July, you couldn't even join my family for our 4th of July celebration.
I was planned on it, was going, and wanted to go. You know, you want to go, you want to do things, and then, but when you just don't have energy, it's, and I'm high energy.
Yeah.
So I guess when I don't have energy, it really bugs me.
Yeah.
Because I really don't like being down on the couch and literally doing nothing.
Yeah.
That kind of drives me nuts. So that brings it to date. My oncologist did want me to do more rounds of chemotherapy, and I declined. I don't want to do any more. I'm not doing the hair thing again. And also, I did do a PET scan. So I did have a PET scan done in December, and you know, things are showing that there was some good news and some bad news, that certain things. So the immunotherapy does work.
Yeah.
It does shrink things.
Yeah.
And so it could tell that it had shrunk existing nodes, but new ones had come up and have appeared because I'm not on any treatment right now. So, but luckily I feel good. And again, that's one of the big reasons that me and Marilyn wanted to do this podcast, to try to let everybody know that we've got stuff too. And Marilyn actually had some really big news that came about to her and her family. And this was just a few years ago, so like towards the end of 2021. And I'm hoping she's going to be able to get through it, because she's way more emotional than me. I'm more of I block everything.
Yeah,
I'm a blocker.
She's a tough cookie.
And poor Marilyn, she really feels, emotions a lot more than I let on anyway, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have emotions, but I kind of know how to block them. And
yeah, you're very good at that.
Try to hide them all.
And she kind of helps me be stronger, because I see how strong you are talking about yourself. So you're an inspiration, and you make me stronger.
Thank you.
All the time. So, and I'm so thankful for you, and I'm so thankful for that. Really. And I'm sorry for being emotional, but I do want to talk about the other person in my life who is going through something very traumatic, and that's my husband, Steve, and he is just as strong and inspiring as Cynthia is.
He is an inspiration to me. I mean, he is.
I'm so glad.
He is amazing.
And you've helped him so much by being able to let him talk about what he's feeling and what he's going through, and you identify with him and you validate his feelings. And for men it's a little harder to articulate and share, and Cynthia makes him feel so much more comfortable to talk about it, and deal with it.
Yeah.
So Steve's journey began in October of 21. And it started with just this hungry feeling in his stomach in the middle of the night, which he knew was strange. So I encouraged him to reach out to his doctor and mention that he was having this odd feeling. And his doctor said, let's put you on Prilosec, which is an acid reflux medication. And so he was on that for about 30 to 45 days, and nothing had improved by that. So in March of 22, they did an endoscopy and a CT scan and discovered that he had a tumor on his pancreas. And we were flabbergasted, because Steve is the most healthy person I know.
Yeah, like the last person in the world you would ever think to be diagnosed with this.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
Super fit, eats eats well.
Yeah, he rides
yeah.
his bike like
He's a
hundreds
bike
of
rider.
miles every weekend, and he exercises every day.
Yes.
Like, I teased him because we would be watching Survivor, and if there was a commercial and we were watching it on real time, he'd be doing weights or kettlebells
Oh my
like
gosh.
behind the couch, and I'm
Wow.
just sitting there drinking my glass of wine, just waiting for the commercial to end, and he just is so
Yeah.
like focused on health and fitness. And so, yeah, like I said, this diagnosis just like hit us like a ton of bricks. And by April of 22, Steve was starting chemo, and by June, his tumor had shrunk 40%. So we were so relieved and so excited, and we were
Yes.
like just so grateful that the chemo was working.
Yeah.
And he stayed on that chemo for about 18 months, and he had done some research and decided that he wanted to introduce radiation into his treatment plan to see if the radiation could shrink the tumor anymore. And
I do want to say that one thing about Steve that I have just been so like overjoyed with him, and he has been working this entire time.
yeah.
From the time that he was starting his chemo and doing it and not feeling well, he literally, between all this time of chemo and 18 months and all of these things he's going through, he goes to work every single day, other than maybe one day he takes off for not feeling good the day after chemo.
Right.
I mean, he is a machine. I talk about inspiration.
Yeah.
That guy just gets up and goes to work, and I think he thinks, or he feels, that you try to keep things as normal as possible, because
Right.
that's your life.
Yeah.
And you want to keep things normal. You don't want to change things, because then it means you're dealing with this nasty thing.
Right. So after the 6 weeks of radiation, they decided that they would give Steve a break from the chemo, and we were super excited because that was right at the holidays.
That's right.
Yeah, so it was really exciting. That was Christmas of 23, and so what a great time that was, knowing that we could spend the holidays and go to all these events and everything, and he was feeling so good and getting stronger. But unfortunately, by March of 24, he started having some symptoms. He was getting jaundice, and his back was starting to hurt again, which meant that the tumor was starting to grow again.
That's always been kind of his inclination of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
He feels good, and then it's a backache.
Yeah.
That starts bothering him.
Right,
Okay.
and it's
yeah.
like a backache that doesn't feel like a workout type of a pain
No.
or anything.
And-
It's like such an intense pain.
That is strange, only because it's kind of like mine, because some of my nodes some of them are in my pelvis area.
Oh, right.
And I know when they're inflamed or growing because I get this backache.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
not a workout backache.
Right,
It's
right.
not like you're sore or that you pulled a muscle. And for us girls, the way to explain it, because I know a guy wouldn't know, it is like bad period backache.
Oh, I
That's
didn't
what it's
know.
like.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, and the pain was so bad that I just felt so bad for Steve.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's just been such a trooper through this whole thing. Like Cynthia said, going to work and just trying to manage the pain with, pain medication and whatnot. And like I said, the doctors noticed that the tumor was growing, and that's what was causing the back pain.
Mm-hmm.
And so they put him right back on chemo. And this was the, April of 24, just to give you a timeline. And so he continued on that chemo regimen until about September, when he started noticing that his back was hurting. He was getting jaundice again, which was meaning that basically the duct leading from his pancreas to his small intestines was getting clogged. So they were doing biliary drains and this sort of thing to try to relieve and get rid of the jaundice and allow his body to flush the fluids
And
out.
does the tube go actually into his liver?
No, it's from the pancreas,
Okay.
to the small intestine.
Oh, okay.
There's
okay.
like
Something with the liver, though, must happen too, because that's what causes that jaundice.
yeah.
So there must be something with that too. Not quite sure.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, the doctors refer to like the duodenum, which is the entrance of the small intestine from the pancreas, but there's so much of that stuff that's
So much
like
to learn.
so
Yeah.
over my head, and
Ugh.
we just try to like take it and process what
Yes.
bits of it we can.
Right. Get
So
it.
yeah. So then, in October, the doctors did another CT scan, and the tumor started to grow again. So they realized that chemo regimen wasn't working anymore. So they put him on a new protocol, and unfortunately, this protocol is every Friday, 3 weeks in a row with only one off. His previous regimen was every other week, so he had more days to feel better in between the treatments.
More breaks in between. Yeah, longer breaks, right.
Yeah, so he's been on that regimen since then, and
it's a different chemo drug this time. Actually, 2 different drugs this time that were different from his last one, because he had done it for so long. They said they stopped working.
Yeah, it just stopped working.
Yeah, and I do know one time a doctor explained that to me, and I remember thinking that was almost like science fiction, because I said, how do these drugs that they work, and they're shrinking things and it's working, how do all of a sudden it stop? How does it not work anymore?
Yeah.
And he said it's really like they morph. They literally morph into what they're killing and what they're trying to beat, and they learn how to go around it.
Really?
Yeah, that's like I'm saying. It's almost
That's
freaky.
crazy.
Yeah, and so that's what they do. They can morph into figuring it out, what's killing them, so they change, and then all of a sudden this doesn't work anymore.
Wow.
So we got to try something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in my mind, like when they said that chemo, regimen stopped working, I guess I kind of look at it like if you're taking antibiotics and you take them too often, like you can build up an immunity to it, but
yeah, I think it's a similar thing.
Yeah.
But they say cancer cells are so, and they don't know everything about cancer cells, but they're so crazy.
Yeah.
That they can, and that's why you can go. I think I have been on probably 5 different chemos, different types.
Yeah.
Because they change, they stop working. It's pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
When you start
Very scientific.
Getting into it.
I know, it's amazing. These doctors are really amazing, all the stuff that they figure out, and so so as she was saying, like these are new chemo drugs in the infusion, and one of the things that his doctor had told him was that he could get neuropathy, and that would be in his hands and feet. And so he said, we want to pay close attention to when you're getting the neuropathy, because we want to not let it get too far, because sometimes the results of the neuropathy and the damage done doesn't ever reverse.
And he had it just a tiny bit, didn't he?
Yeah.
From previous
From
chemos.
the previous regimen.
That's what I thought, yeah.
But this one was, they did warn us, like, it's going to be much more of an intense neuropathy. And so then, every time he goes in for the infusion, they're asking him, how's your neuropathy? And he was being very honest and saying, like, it's getting worse. And the thing I think that was, like, the most devastating when they were telling us about this new protocol or regimen was that they don't have many more options to try if this one stops working. So that's just very scary, to hear that and to like process that, because I'm just praying that
this one works.
Yeah, that
this one has to work, right?
It's working, yeah. So just a couple weeks ago, Steve reached out to his doctor and said the neuropathy is getting so bad that it's affecting my quality of life. Yeah. And so his oncologist said, let's just reduce it by 25% and see if, we could still get some in you to shrink and kill the tumor. but not take it out completely. But then the more that it stays in your system, it just keeps building on itself, and it was really getting worse. And Steve was having trouble sleeping at night, and he was so uncomfortable, and he's bought in different shoes and different slippers that he can wear with the cooling effect, and just nothing was seeming to help him get on top of the pain and the throbbing. And so anyhow, he just had a email correspondence back with his doctor back and forth on Monday, and so he's going to remove that drug completely. It's Gemzar, and so he will still have the other drug that's in the chemo infusion, but the one that's causing him the really bad neuropathy, they've taken that out. His last treatment on Friday, he didn't have it in there. So we're hoping now that maybe, the pain and the throbbing and the tingling will start to go away.
Yeah.
And praying too, that the drug that's still remaining in his infusion every Friday is enough to keep everything at bay or shrink it, or but we're also still extremely hopeful. We are very, very hopeful for a miracle. We're not going to give up.
Never.
I pray. I know everybody, all of our little prayer warriors out there are surrounding our family in prayer, and it means so much.
And a lot too that I know that there's I was talking about how people's bodies are so different with different medications and different, there are people that I know that have taken the exact same immunotherapy that I've taken, and I've lived 10 years, and that was on, I can't do Keytruda, and I know millions of people do Keytruda, and that's one of the ones that sent me to ER. So Gemzar, which is the one that caused this terrible neuropathy for Steve, was literally one of the ones that I took. And
you were
I got nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never... I feel very lucky because a lot of the people, or a few of the people that I do know that have been going through different chemo regimens and taken some of the same things I've taken have had neuropathy, and it isn't going away. It's still there. And so even though they're done. So I do feel blessed because I have not had to suffer with that. And from what I hear, it's one of the worst side effects for people. That you can end up in walking with a walker, or end up walking or being in a wheelchair because you can't walk because your feet are they're either numb or when you step on them it's like pins and needles, and so you don't want to walk because it hurts. You know. So again, Steve is up every day going to work and doing jobs still
because he wants to. Because he wants.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. It's not because he feels obligated or because I'm making him.
Heck no.
Right?
No.
I just want to clarify.
It's because he wants to keep myself normal. I am going to be doing what I've done all my life. I want to stay normal, because if I don't stay normal and I just sit in my chair and I just sit here because my neuropathy hurts, I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to waste away and die. And no, that's not good.
No.
So that's why I always say, I am so impressed with Steve. I mean, he gives me even more strength, because I think, oh my God, he's going through so much more than I'm going through. And look at him. I know. He's so positive all the time.
And he's so supportive of us doing this too. He really has pushed us and encouraged us. And
gives us so much great feedback. And watches the episodes and tells us what we should and shouldn't do.
Thanks for being a subscriber, hun.
I know, right? No, he has been probably our biggest cheerleader. Yeah.
For sure.
Yes, he has.
I agree.
Great.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you guys are probably noticing these gifts sitting next to us, all sparkly and wrapped. And so Cynthia and I thought that we would use this opportunity at the end of this podcast that's a little more emotional.
Yeah, it's a little kind of a sad one, but we don't like ending our podcast on a sad note.
No, we always want
to, more joyous.
Yes,
right?
and
More
make you
fun,
guys
more
smile,
smiles.
and we're trying to smile too.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Cynthia and I were so busy, not just because of launching our podcast and recording and editing and filming and all this stuff.
Learning, yes.
But it was Christmas time, and we had so many events, and of course you guys know all the places we went. We've talked about it. But we never exchanged Christmas presents with each other because we've been so busy. And so we thought, why don't we just do it at the end of the podcast to just leave everybody with a happy, ending to a little bit of a difficult podcast. So we're going to take this time really quick to, rip open our presents. I have no idea what she got me, obviously. No. And she has no idea.
Yeah, we kind of told each other, this is a year where, don't spend a lot of money. Let's tone it way down. Because seriously, before we would have 7 presents for each other.
Yeah.
Which was nuts.
No,
right?
and it was. And the funny thing too is that we know each other so well that it was almost impossible not to end up buying each other so many gifts, because I would be out shopping for someone else and I would see something that she would love.
Yes.
So it turned out that we were just buying and wrapping and and then so we decided we're gonna keep it under or close to $25. So it actually made it kind of fun to try to keep
and to try to find something that we knew they would enjoy and like, but keep it low.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did.
Right? So I want to preface this with most of the stuff is a necessity. It's not like a Tiffany bracelet or anything extravagant. Because when we decided to do this on air, I'm like, well, I didn't get her anything crazy earth-shattering. And she agreed it was the same. So, but let's just jump into it.
I hope you can see with the microphones. In kind of here. But what we'll do is we'll kind of open them up and then we'll kind of show you.
Yeah, maybe we'll show.
And
we're just going to open them at the same time.
This is mine.
Yes, I did. Okay, so I didn't want to rave about my wrapping, but I wanted to rave about her wrapping.
So cute.
Okay, so let's dig in. Let's do this.
So we're just going to totally dig in. And, I got to read. Oh, the tag's empty.
Oh!
I got an empty tag.
Oh my gosh! I think I forgot.
Which is super weird.
Yes, because
she will write a story on the tag. She doesn't write, choose Cynthia.
Here's the thing. I didn't even tape it. I was supposed to write on it later, and I never went back.
I got
and wrote. Okay,
it's on film. I got
Yeah, you did. And so I'm taking this, and I'm going to set it down because I always write a novel on the gift tag.
She's a tag girl.
Yeah, and I say them because I love them. They're just so cute.
Look how cute this little ornament is, though. This is for our candy tree. We talked about that.
Yeah, the glass
and
candy.
It's a glass Tootsie Roll.
It's a Tootsie Roll,
Oh
and I got a little ornament.
She's got a ball.
Yeah.
I got
a ball.
Okay,
boring. I'm going to jump in. Let's do this.
You go ahead.
Okay. And I put all of hers in one box, and I wrapped them all in tissue individually. So you're still going to have a lot to open.
God, that's so cute. I have the same box.
Do you really? Oh my gosh.
I love it. You had to take the ribbon off, huh?
Yes, I did. Did you get me the same one?
No.
Okay. Because we always seem to get each other the same type of thing. Oh, this is a picture frame with a stand. Oh my gosh, that's us at Western Village Steakhouse.
Yes.
Can you see this picture?
So we call each other FFs.
Yes.
And I know we actually, our FFs stand for favorite friend.
Yes. Because we have a lot of friends, and we have nicknames with all of our friends.
Most everybody says you're my BFF, and they have all these different names. So we came up with FFs, and it was favorite friends. But I found that I couldn't find a frame with favorite friends.
Yes, this one says forever friends.
Forever friends.
And that's an FF also.
Well, that's an FF.
Yeah. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love that. And that was from our recent trip.
Yes, it was.
Oh my gosh, love it. Thank you. Dig in.
Yes.
You open
Look at this cute little box.
It's got candy.
Oh my gosh.
Even the wrapping paper has
how we do candy.
Can you see that? We love everything with candy.
Oh my gosh, even our tissue paper has candy.
Yes.
I love it. I love the tissue paper. Oh my gosh. Look
inside. My gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Glass candy, everybody. Oh my gosh.
Look at all my stuff in here.
So excited. This is beautiful.
Stickers.
This is absolutely
beautiful. Do you remember
beautiful.
seeing those on my candy tree?
Never.
Yes, you pointed it out.
Did I?
You pointed it out and you go, oh, that one looks new. And I said, yes, they are. I found them. And what's so weird about these?
I don't remember.
Is inside of the glass is almost like, it's like cotton candy.
Oh,
inside.
I was just going to say, it looks like cotton candy.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love them. Love them.
What's this?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, a new little super. She knows how we love notepads.
Yeah, because we write to-do lists and
all
kinds of stuff.
Cute. Layered notepad. Super cute.
And they got little ruffles and there's 3 different sizes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, what is this one?
Check it out. Paris Hilton.
Oh, my cute. My goodness. Look at me. New little notebook. Just what I need. And
because we're always taking
I love
notes.
it. We're
always
taking
learning.
notes. Going places.
Yes.
We need more notebooks. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to need scissors here.
Oh, gosh.
I'm hoping my thumbnail.
Shoot, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just keep opening my
Yeah,
cute
no.
little
Just
gifts.
look at how cute that is. Go for it.
It's got this cute little pom-pom on there. Oh, my gosh. I love it. This is just like a haul almost, right?
I know. This is
Except it's not from Temu.
Yeah, no.
It's from my FF.
Yes, from me and from you. I love this. I think
she knows my favorite pens.
Yes.
And
And
she's
we
buying me podcast stuff.
Yeah, it's all stuff. Like I said, it's a necessity.
I love it. But I love these pens. These are our favorite pens.
It's all stuff she can use for our podcast.
Yes, which is perfect because it's stuff I'm going to use, right?
Yes, and I'm having a really...
I know. It's okay because look at all this I have to open.
Okay, I'm struggling here. Try not to break a nail.
Uh-oh, I'll help you in a second when I'm
Okay.
done. Do you want me to help you?
Do I need to save the
Oh.
box? Because now I'm
you don't
ripping
need
the
to
box.
You don't need to
I am so
Rip
curious.
the box.
Because the box literally says Paris Hilton on it.
It does. Whoa, and who doesn't need more fuzzy socks?
Right? Okay,
Always need more fuzzy socks. Always.
How do
Oh
I...
my goodness.
Oh, I
Okay.
got it.
Got it?
Yep, I didn't
Okay.
realize that it was
She got
this
it.
thick.
She got
Okay.
it. What is it? What is it?
Oh, my stars. Kate, get out of there.
Is
this a French press? Yeah. No. I have been wanting a French press for so long.
Look how cute this one is.
And
Oh,
it's
take it off.
a Paris Hilton.
Get this off.
Okay, get this off.
Pink.
It is pink. Oh my
And
gosh.
it's got hearts.
How did you find this? This is adorable. So Cynthia and I, years ago, went to Reno. Braden was so little.
He was little, yeah.
Yes, and we stayed like 2 or 3 nights in Reno with Braden, just the 3 of us, and we went to the Sterling Steakhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's right.
And it was so funny. Okay, I'm going to go to the French press story first, because I have a really cute story about Braden. Do you want to keep
Oh,
opening?
my last one. This is
Okay,
my last one.
and so I ordered dessert, and they had French press coffee, and I'd never had it before. And I died. It was the best coffee I've ever had. And ever since then,
one of her comfy shirts.
ever since then, I wanted a French press.
Yay! Comfy shirt.
Right?
We're podcasting.
We love comfy clothes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I wanted to share this really cute story.
Yes, go ahead.
No, not to cut you off. About Braden, because when we were at the Sterling Steakhouse that night, Braden had to use the restroom, so I just had him follow me into the ladies' room. And when we walked into the bathroom at the Sterling Steakhouse, it was so fancy and so luxurious
I
that
remember
Braden
now.
literally said, "Mommy, this is what I imagine the bathrooms in heaven look like." And I was like,
best ever.
Braden, that is the cutest thing I ever saw.
Yeah, because it was
Or
like,
her.
fancy and
Yes.
everything. Gold knobs,
Yes.
you know? Oh,
Yes.
my gosh.
I just love that.
So,
Oh,
and-
my gosh.
And I think it's so funny because she kept talking this year, Christmas time.
Yes.
She kept talking about, I got to tell Steve that I want
Yeah.
a French press for Christmas. And I kept going, but didn't he want to get you this? And I would always throw her off
Yes,
the French
you did.
press.
You kept saying, but do you want Steve to get you this?
Didn't you want him to get you this?
Yes.
Didn't you say you wanted a gift card?
Oh.
Didn't you want this?
Yes.
And I kept thinking, oh my God, she's going to get 2 of them, right? And so I kept
Ah.
trying to throw her off.
Love this. Thank you, Paris Hilton. This is so freaking cute. I cannot wait to use it.
So we're going to have some fancy
I
coffee.
love it.
Yes.
And Steve got me for Christmas. One of my gifts was a gift card to TJ Maxx. And so,
Which she did get her gift card.
right? I got it, and I got my French press.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
Best Christmas
for
ever.
everything watching us rip
Hope
open
you had fun too.
our Christmas presents, and we'll just sign off for now.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Don't forget, every Wednesday we drop a new one. So, yeah. So we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah. Bye. Mwah.